Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the lesson today. My name is Wawire Christopher, and the lesson is transmitted to you through video conferencing. Today we are talking about physics Form 1, and the topic of the day is force, and the lesson duration is 30 minutes. So at the end of this lesson, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to do the following. First, you should be able to describe experiment to illustrate cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension. Number two, you should be able to define cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension. So those are the objectives of the lesson today. And by the end of this lesson, you should be able to do what you have just talked about there. So under force, we have various subtopics, that is the meaning of force, cohesion and adhesion. We have surface tension, we have vector and scalar, we have weight and upthrust. So we shall deal with these subtopics one by one until the end of the lesson. So what is force? If I might ask you, what is force? Force is generally a push or a pull on a body or an object. A person pushing a wall is applying some sort of a force. If I have to lift, if I lift this metal rod or rather metal bar, I'm using force. If I pull you towards my direction, I'm using force. So force basically is a push or a pull on an object or a body. Okay, so let's check something else, that is cohesion and adhesion. When a finger is dipped into water, what do you normally observe? You normally observe after you have withdrawn the finger from the water, you see that your finger is wetted, or rather some particles of water remains on your finger. So this is a scenario
I was a Peace Corps volunteer, living in the villages and seeing so many children that, in Uganda, I should say, but just seeing so many children who couldn't access formal education. USAID has made a big switch in the last year to more on non-formal education, and we're really pleased to be working with, or cooperating with partners like Nnfei on such initiatives, and we've expanded our largest program with the Aga Khan Foundation called EMAC into the slums of Nairobi and Mombasa as of last October, and we'll be introducing some other initiatives in the slums as well. But also our youth programs. I oversee Yes Youth Can, and that's something that could definitely take advantage of this. And we are also working in the slums of Nairobi, but also throughout the country with the youth, them to find chances, for increased opportunities. And that's really what this program is about. It's about a second chance, a new opportunity on life, and to see what you can make of yourself. The education system here is tough. I mean, if you don't make it past that primary education exam, there's not a whole lot of life chances out there for you. And I'm so happy to see you giving kids a second chance. And I applaud your efforts, and I really hope that we can see this expand countrywide. I was just hearing yesterday about the University of South Africa and how through these kind of methods, they are now the largest university in the world. They have more than 400,000 students because they're reaching people through computer, through technology, and that's really the way forward. And we're helping to establish some e-learning centers around the country, those might be some areas where we can cooperate to get this message and this instruction out to as many people as possible who deserve it, and like I said, to give them that second chance in life. So thank you.
We are absolutely honoured to be involved with this project, which is the marriage of content, the educational system, and the distribution of that content to access individuals that cannot access it themselves as it stands today, and really accessing the inaccessible. Swift is an internet service provider, so we provide data links between various points across the country, and we have the largest network in Kenya and indeed East Africa. So that distribution allows the content to get to the places that we've identified with Jane and to reach greater parts of Kenya than any other internet service provider. In addition to those links, I think as we mentioned earlier, we can host the content, enabling it to be accessible during those nighttime periods, and also the provision of the hardware and software that exists within the classroom to make the educational experience as interactive and as effective as possible. So I'd like to thank Jane. I'd also like to thank my team who've worked tirelessly in this initial phase of the proof of concept, and I guarantee you, Jane, that we'll be here all the way supporting you and this great project as well as we can. Thank you.
What you're going to do, Mheshimiwa, to enable us to write that canon, that you go to Kenya and ensure that all children receive education. That is our joy. Do you believe it? Yes. We can make it? We can. Last time I talked to the PS, I realized there are so many methods of utilizing technology, and with it, we have no reason why we should not reach every child in this country. Karibu.
This is a very intriguing exercise. When I was launching my presidential campaign, we lit a candle. So.
This is really, yeah? The candle has a meaning then.
It does.
Yeah, it really
does. Thank you very much, Bwana PS.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Yeah. PS.
Yes, yeah.
It's been 10 years since I lit that much.
The same work here.
That I've not been cooking.
We cannot work without the part.
So we'll have the name of the subject from one, and then my name, Mr. James, then 30 minutes. So this the students will see as I recap maybe on the previous lesson. So as I recap, they prepare themselves, because I expect before this lesson
from that, and I want us to discuss the fourth type of punctuation mark, which is the exclamation mark. And the symbol for an exclamation mark is that symbol that you have at the end of that phrase. So, and we say an exclamation mark is used after interjections or commands. So I repeat it again, and I say an exclamation mark is used after interjections or commands. And I say that interjection is a word or phrase used to express a strong feeling like wow, meaning I'm happy. Or if I want to mean that I'm sad or something has happened, I would use an exclamation mark, an interjection like what. So definitely after meaning with the kind of interjection that I've used, you definitely know what feeling or what situation is being expressed. So it expresses an emotion such as surprise, I would say what or wow. If anger and fear, pain or pressure, they are those interjections that you use to illustrate those emotions. I elaborate that with examples that I'm going to give. I have an example here. What a complete waste of my time. You can see that there is that exclamation mark that I have used at the end of that sentence. So that sentence is illustrating, or it expresses an emotion. So I would want to ask you, does it express an emotion of surprise or what a complete waste of time? Or is it a fear? Is it a happy emotion? Or is it an anger emotion? So you need to understand what that sentence means for you to know the kind of emotion that is being expressed by that interjection. So sit over there and be quiet for now. So still there, you can see that at the end of that sentence, meaning there is that exclamation mark that is used, and still it is expressing a certain emotion. So another example is he's here. He's here. You can imagine. So the person that is saying that is not maybe in a calm situation. So he's saying like if in a hurry, he's here. He's here. So that person maybe is like he was running and maybe someone has come, maybe a visitor or a thief. You can imagine that situation if you were to use this kind of a phrase. So there is a specific emotion, whether it is a happy emotion, a fear emotion, that is being expressed by that kind of phrase that is being used by a specific speaker. So we won. Definitely it doesn't express an anger or a fear emotion. Definitely that speaker or whomever is expressing that specific emotion is we won. There is no way after winning you can be sad. Definitely you have to be happy, and by being happy you have to be jovial. So like you wouldn't say we won. No, that doesn't put up. So definitely we won, you would be happy. Wow, we won, and all that. So that is an emotion that is being expressed by that specific exclamation mark. Or if I were to say maybe like you are making noise in the class, so what would I say? Quiet. So what do I expect from you? To notice that there's that interjection that I've used. Definitely you're making noise in class and I expect you to be quiet. So you can see the kind of emotion that I'm expressing. I cannot be happy and I say quiet. That I'm happy that I'm making noise. No, I can't be happy. So definitely you can notice the kind of emotion that is being expressed there. Then after discussing about the exclamation mark, then we move on to that other type of an exclamation mark, which is the colon, that is 2 dots. So I want you to differentiate between a semicolon